SpaceX's Falcon 9 experienced an upper stage engine failure during yesterday's Starlink mission. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Let's dive right in. I hope you're all doing well today, although I bring some rather unsettling news for our Falcon 9 fans. Our community is full of enthusiasts for both Falcon 9 and Starship, and for good reason. Falcon 9 has been the cornerstone of SpaceX's success for many years and remains a critical part of their operations. So, what exactly went wrong during the recent Starlink launch and satellite deployment? Let's find out. On July 11th, a critical malfunction in the upper stage engine of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket disrupted a mission intended to carry a new batch of Starlink satellites. This issue could have a major impact on the space industry. Falcon 9 lifted off from Vandenberg Space Force Base in California at 10:35 p.m. Eastern, with the mission to place 20 Starlink satellites into orbit, including 13 satellites equipped with direct-to-cell payloads. Designated by SpaceX as Group 923, the mission initially seemed to proceed smoothly. The rocket's flight was typical, and the first stage successfully landed on a drone ship. However, during the first burn of the second stage, observers noticed something unusual: a buildup of ice around the Merlin engine cover. This anomaly, rarely seen in Falcon 9 launches, did not seem to immediately affect the stage's performance. The mission plan called for a brief, 1-second engine burn at 52 minutes and 20 seconds to circularize the orbit. Next was the deployment of the Starlink satellites. But when SpaceX ended the live broadcast, there was no immediate confirmation that these critical milestones had been achieved. A few hours later, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk took to social media to address the issue. He revealed that the upper stage restart, intended to raise the perigee, led to an acronym in SpaceX lingo for Rapid Unscheduled Disassembly, essentially indicating a significant anomaly. Musk further explained that while the Starlink satellites had indeed been deployed, their perigee might be too low to sustain orbit. He reassured the public that more details would be provided as SpaceX gathered additional data. Jonathan McDowell, an astronomer and spaceflight expert, estimated that the rocket's upper stage had been placed in an initial transfer orbit of 38 by 295 kilometers before the second burn to circularize the orbit. The timing of the engine failure during this brief burn would determine whether the satellites could avoid an immediate re-entry into the atmosphere. Almost an hour later, SpaceX posted an update on X, formerly known as Twitter, stating that during the Falcon 9 Starlink mission, the second stage engine had failed to complete its second burn. As a result, the Starlink satellites were released into a lower than intended orbit. So far, SpaceX has successfully contacted 5 of the satellites and is working to raise their orbits using ion thrusters. Elon Musk also provided additional insight, humorously referencing Star Trek, saying, "We're updating the satellite software to push the ion thrusters to their equivalent of Warp 9. Unlike a Star Trek episode, this probably won't work, but it's worth trying. The thrusters need to raise the orbit faster than atmospheric drag pulls them down, or they'll burn up in re-entry." This incident marks the first failure, whether partial or total, of a Falcon 9 rocket since September 2016. The previous incident involved an explosion on the launch pad during a pre-flight test, which destroyed both the rocket and its communications satellite payload. Prior to that, the most recent in-flight failure of Falcon 9 occurred in June 2015, when the upper stage disintegrated during the launch of a Dragon cargo spacecraft. Despite these setbacks, Falcon 9 has since maintained an impressive streak of successes. This launch was the 354th for Falcon 9, with the June 2015 in-flight failure occurring on its 19th mission. Additionally, there have been 10 Falcon Heavy launches, all of which have been successful. As many of you know, the global space industry has increasingly relied on Falcon 9 for space access, primarily due to its high flight cadence and the developmental challenges faced by new launch vehicles. Numerous countries and companies, including those competing with SpaceX's Starlink constellation, and even European government organizations, have turned to Falcon 9 for their spacecraft launches. This widespread dependence highlights the far-reaching implications of the recent anomaly. Moreover, this incident has raised concerns about crewed space missions. Falcon 9 was scheduled to launch a Crew Dragon spacecraft at the end of July for the Polaris Dawn private astronaut mission, followed by another critical mission in mid-August, the Crew 7 mission, aimed at sending 4 astronauts to the International Space Station, ISS, for a 6-month stay. NASA has heavily relied on SpaceX for access to the ISS, especially due to delays and challenges in developing Boeing's CST-100 Starliner spacecraft. The recent incident with the Falcon 9's upper stage engine could have significant impacts across the entire space industry. The Falcon 9's outstanding success rate has made it the cornerstone of numerous space efforts, from deploying satellite constellations to transporting astronauts and cargo to the ISS. Its reliability is a key factor in its widespread adoption. As SpaceX faces this issue, all eyes will be on how they address the anomaly and the steps they will take to prevent similar occurrences in the future. In the immediate aftermath of the incident, SpaceX will likely conduct a comprehensive investigation to pinpoint the exact cause of the engine failure. This process will involve analyzing telemetry data, inspecting any recovered hardware, and possibly conducting additional ground tests. The goal is to identify any underlying issues that may have led to the ice buildup and subsequent engine failure. For the Starlink satellites that were deployed, the next few hours and days will be crucial. SpaceX will closely monitor their orbits to determine if they can achieve the necessary altitude to avoid re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. The Starlink constellation is a critical component of SpaceX's long-term vision to provide global internet coverage, so any loss of satellites could impact this ambitious project. Moreover, this incident serves as a stark reminder of the inherent risks of spaceflight, even with the most advanced technology and experienced teams. Even with the most sophisticated technology and rigorous testing, the complexity of launching and operating rockets means that anomalies can and will occur. For companies and organizations planning missions, this incident underscores the importance of having redundancy and contingency plans. As SpaceX works to address the recent issue, the company's track record suggests that they will respond with swift and effective action. SpaceX has consistently demonstrated resilience in the face of challenges, using each setback as an opportunity to refine and advance its technology. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you found this content valuable. Stay tuned for another exciting video tomorrow.